see him there. We in global TV says certain kind of friend we no keep. And some informer friend we lovely. We in global, bona fake friend and bona tape. We in global, we not promote them, we not support them. Look at them on the cheek, come here represent for. We in global TV. Check it.
Good evening and welcome. It is the People's Point of View. Sorry for being late. The country is still on the hurricane watch. The Gleaner is reporting that the hurricane has dropped back to a category 4, but we are expected still that Jamaica will be feeling some effects from maybe not direct hit, but probably out of bands that would cost us heavy wind, strong winds and heavy rains. So the appeal still stands to everyone to make sure all the necessary precautions are followed in order to keep ones safe. Good evening and welcome to everyone. Thank you for joining us this evening. To my community of party and all my family members, good evening and welcome. Platform membership holders, viewers and subscribers, commenters, moderators, good evening and welcome. David Jervis, good evening. Sharon Bernard, good evening and welcome. Beat and Teach, good evening, good evening. Darth Gordon, good evening. Sunshine, good evening. Gloria Morris, Elaine Turner, Benessa Cody, good evening and welcome. Rosie D, Joan Bailey, Sheena Kelly, Sharon Terrelong, Angela 48349, Elga Fletcher, Tony Tall, Lennis Reed, JC, Carlene Richards, Miranda Ruddock. Thank you all for joining us this evening. No, Elaine, I was a bit late running behind time. I wasn't at home, so I have to keep watching my time. Zanette Beckford, good evening. I have to keep watching my time and keep altering the time, but I thought I would have started around midnight my time, but I managed to get on a bit much earlier. Jamaican Foodie, how are you? Dorothy Brown. Let's go call all vloggers, whether me and them agree, whether them like me or not. I have a message for all vloggers tonight. I have a message for all vloggers tonight, particularly those in the social justice or political activism vlogging. Send call everybody and tell them I have information for them tonight. So they must want to hear, because they must want to follow the right step. Boy, Markland Fagan, the Prime Minister, must sit down here now and rub him hand with glee. 150 million. 150 million. We only need some flooding and some tree drop down on people's house. The Prime Minister, Don Fox, is rubbing his hand with glee this evening. My catastrophe bond is now mature. My catastrophe bond, as the Prime Minister is rubbing his hands with glee, is now mature. Run one list. Because him get the natural disaster where him want, to call another state of emergency. as well as something that will be quite lucrative for the Prime Minister and the Minister of Finance with their matured catastrophe bond. 100 million payout. Is it 100 million per catastrophe, Prime Minister of Finance? Is it 100 million per catastrophe? Or is it 1 million per hurricane season? Which is it? Because we just start. Hurricane season just start. And the Prime Minister is expected to pay out. So is it 150,000, 150 million rather, per catastrophe? Or is it per hurricane season? I wonder if at that Chai Bridge I go fix out, or it I go fix over the alleged 600 million from Prince Charles, where Andrew Packet and I talk about, where Andrew have election plans for and I talk about. You never wonder why Andrew Holness want to shut way up. We not send go call all vloggers. I have story for them tonight on how we're going to deal with the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister threatening we, Remember the Prime Minister come threatening we. Send go call all bloggers tonight. I have story for them. Because I know me want the Prime Minister threatening. Senior McCarthy, how are you? I know me want the Prime Minister threatening, And everybody will not agree with the Prime Minister. And everybody will not want to shut up and come off of the Prime Minister back. And not just 7 hours we win that the Prime Minister and them people them a look through. Bevan Brown, good evening. And a 1 and 2 hour win that the Prime Minister look through. But I want to ask Digicel and Flo a few questions this evening. We are aware, Digicel and Flo, that the Prime Minister has their Israeli Pegasus software. Precious Allen, Pamela Akola, Conjugal 84. We are aware of that. But in the nation, in the Prime Minister snooping on members of the public, is there any role played by Digicel or Flo in the Prime Minister snooping and tracking us? Can the Prime Minister produce a warrant that authorized on the 37? No, hit the like button. What is wrong? What is wrong? Hello, good evening and welcome. What is wrong? Did you, Prime Minister, obtain a warrant to authorize your snooping? Or did that snooping you explained to us, was that obtained under executive power from the executive arm of government run by the Prime Minister without the other arm of government, the court, which is there to balance the right of the people against the government? Did you sought a warrant, Prime Minister, for the tracking that you explained you were doing? Or is it okay for the Prime Minister just to breach the privacy of the people without any check and balances, without any proportionality being applied? The Prime Minister can arbitrarily violate the Constitution. The easy jerk word. Well, go on, bro. The Prime Minister can arbitrarily violate the Constitution, Tony Tall, in order to snoop on the nation without going to the court and say, this is what we're investigating, and we think that if we get a warrant, we can gather more information to support this important information that we have. Lenford. Or is the Prime Minister snooping on us under the disguise of national security? But even if the Prime Minister is snooping on us under the disguise of national security, you cannot do it ongoing without check and balance from the other arm of governance, which is the courts. I have been from yesterday, Lenford, continuously warn the people of Jamaica that they must heed the warnings and the information coming from government. Those of us who live on low-lying areas, coastline areas, flood-prone areas, areas close to river banking. I see where which gully the National Work Agency, they are clean today. But the warning still stands, and as I said from last night, everybody is responsible for their own safety. You must follow, Rebel with a Cause, the instruction coming from government. You must follow the instructions coming from government. You must also take the necessary precaution to prevent risk to life and limb. Property can be rebought, be rebuilt, and anything you want to do with it. But take all the necessary precautions to protect life and limb. Make sure you know where your evacuation points are. Make sure if you live in an area where you will need or where it will be highly possible or highly likely that if there is heavy rainfall, your area will be flooded. If you live in a building that you think will not withstand the force of the wind, you must evacuate in order to protect life and limb. We know some are stubborn. We know all you are stubborn and think uno go to storm already. This year one now gonna be no different. You cannot decide what will not happen. A storm is a storm, and you must take all the necessary precautions to make sure that you don't put yourself in excess or unwarranted danger. Follow all the instruction coming from the different agencies of government. Keep in tune with the development of time, speed, direction, and strength of the hurricane. Dorothy Brown, how are you? As the Prime Minister, he can use the hurricane to cancel the election because the hurricane, bros, how are you? Rosalie Ricketts. Hurricane season finish this September, and then the next one start from next summer to next September, which him can have the election up to next September. So even if the country is affected by the hurricane, him still have over a year to do the hurricane. We do a an election in the middle of pandemic. So I don't see why we can't do one in the middle of hurricane. Hmm? If we can do an election in the middle of COVID, why we can't do one in the middle of a hurricane? I wouldn't see any much of a difference going on here. Send go call the blogger them because I have something to tell them. The threat coming from the Prime Minister. The threat coming from the Prime Minister and his vloggers are not to be taken lightly, Dolores Logan. The threat coming from the Prime Minister, Markland, how are you? And his social media warriors are not to be taken lightly, Patricia Williams. To all vloggers out there, particularly those of you who the Prime Minister would be disgruntled with your utterances, whether you're a social justice activist or you're a political activist, you must, Michelle Clark, good evening, you must go to your nearest police station. You must report a threat of death against your life aided by the Jamaican Prime Minister, uttered by the Jamaican Prime Minister, social justice warriors. You must take the recording of the Prime Minister with you, Douglas Allen, where the Prime Minister is explaining that they're tracking us. You must also take the recording with you where the said vlogger mentioned in Parliament by the Deputy Speaker utterances on that particular recording. You must also find another recording with the said vlogger that he's speaking and his face is present to show correlation in voice, because they're going to claim AI. You must report a threat of death against your life by social justice bloggers aligned to the Prime Minister. You must also make it clear, as the Prime Minister did in his speech, that the Prime Minister is tracking bloggers, and the said Prime Minister is handing over that information to his social media warriors to go out there and check. No, I'm not just talking Jamaica police. All our way foreign as well. If was bite we, all our we bloggers, whether you're down Jamaica, you're down England, you're down America, Canada, anywhere, report to your local police station. A death threat was made against your life by the Jamaican state. If what? Because we don't know if the Prime Minister, like how them a walk and a peep and a take bamboo push through a window and a move a curtain to see what go on in the Evan Johnson. No wonder why the Prime Minister didn't want to keep the windows and door open, because he want to push for the curtain. He want to push for the curtain to see where go on in our house. So that's why in the one to sleep with the windows and door open. No respect for it. But this is a threat to our lives. And whichever country you're in, you must report it to your local police. backed up by all those pieces of evidence where the Prime Minister admit to tracking us, where the Prime Minister, social media warrior, admitting to have the tracking information on us. So therefore, if the Prime Minister track with and them have the information, who else would give them information other than the Prime Minister? Does Digicel or Flow have any involvement in the Prime Minister obtaining and tracking members of the public, Sharon Peart? We have to ask him. We have to ask because we know say be a criminality this government promote. This government is promoting a standoff between the nation. Sandra Ellis, how are you? This government is promoting young people, Douglas Allen, facing off against each other, Rosemary Samuels. A long time them are threatening we that them have the capability to do it. Nesta told us before when he was Minister of Information. When Nesta was Minister of Information, born about on a picture. So I don't know to go so way. Because I don't know if we don't walk and rub things pan with our angle like the Russian them. Because when the Russian them want to kill you, then just can walk and rub things pan you do handle and you know say Andrew Holness a dictator. You might never know where I do. Register a threat of death against your life, vloggers out there. We were all threatened by the Prime Minister and his social media warrior. The Prime Minister admit to tracking us. The social media warrior admit to obtaining those tracked information and went on further to tell us we're going to get what is coming. That is a death threat from the Jamaican government. The Jamaican government who wants to silence everybody. The Jamaican government who don't want to be criticized is telling us that we ought to be silent. And that them show what we're saying. With a silence. Anything we attack, it have to something we support them. It have to something we glorify them. Otherwise, we're not talking. Because we're liar and we're mix up and a liar story we attack. If you vloggers out there don't want to take this threat against your life serious, it is up to you.
On social media that bordered on being defamatory, probably libelous. The person was tracked and their identity discovered. Long and short, the person was put up to doing this by another political organization.
Kate M., how are you?
And we have been tracking several such cases where you see some posts being made that border on defamatory or libelous. And when you dig behind, which we have the capabilities to do, and to discover the people behind these accounts, there are young persons being recruited to do this.
You heard the Prime Minister admitting to tracking young people. Young people that are going, Larkland, how are you? that are going missing in droves in our country. The Prime Minister is tracking, admittedly to us, that he's tracking daily fun. Young people, listen to the celebrated social media warrior of the Prime Minister telling us that they have that tracking information and we should look out for them because things are coming.
Let me tell you that every waking moment will be spent to track them down and to give them what they duly deserve. Trust and believe me. It is happening already.
Listen, them come, them they not on the live now.
You've seen 5 lawsuits already coming from the top. Well, the ones that are coming from social media, you don't see them yet, but they are coming. They are coming because the social media ones are a little bit more difficult to find.
The British are coming.
The British.
Stop.
Yes.
Them bad and have a video of you and them something there, but they're showing their faces, but they're not giving their names and addresses.
But don't worry, we are getting
waiting on you people,
we are
and we
getting
can't
it.
get
You
it without
trust and
that,
believe.
Philippines.
We are getting those names. We have some of the names already, and we are getting the additional names, and we're verifying. Some of them, we find them house already. We find the house already. We see them in them house or water plants already. We see them already. It's only a matter of time.
You know, say 99%.
Guess what? Some of them are local in Jamaica, and some of them are overseas. And trust and believe, of the 7 that are on my list on social media, 4 have already been identified. 4 from 7 has already been identified. It's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time.
So the Jamaican government admitted to us that they're tracking Kirk Edwards, Kevin Davis, Joe Sam. Admit to us that they're tracking. And then the social justice vlogger came out, told it all, and admit to having the information from the tracking and on hear the threat where they met. We still want we to provide our address and name on our chat with Chronicles. Where are our children, Prime Minister? I've been asking this question from morning. Where are our children? Because the Prime Minister is tracking young people. Young people is going missing in their droves. Where are our children? The Prime Minister is disseminating those tracking information to social media warriors and JLP political activists. Our children are going missing in droves at the same time, Prime Minister. Where are our children? Do these kidnappers, Prime Minister, not have telephone? Do these children not have telephone? Prime Minister, where are our children? Is the government of Jamaica, is the Prime Minister the one who is tracking and identifying which children ought to be kidnapped? Prime Minister, where are our children? Where are our children, Prime Minister? Hundreds just vanish from the face of the earth. You can't track live things. You can't track moving things. Where are our children? Or you can only use your Pegasus software to violate freedom of speech, to violate fundamental rights, perspective power. Rubbing your hand with glee because you're going to get to impose a state of emergency on the island, albeit short. You're expected to collect millions. So you really don't care about the nation. You only stand to gain what you are going to gain financially, Prime Minister. But the question is, where are our children? You admit to us that you're tracking young people. Young people, Prime Minister, are going missing. Where are our children? Your vloggers admit to have those information. Your social media warrior, given project management contract / job, Marcia Thomas, Arlene Foster, on the government site. Our children are going missing while all this snooping, Omega Hansel, how are you? Me not listen to Darrell Vaz, you know. When Darrell Vaz got prison, for raping and murdering Diane, then we will start listening to Darrell Vaz. But as it stands, Darrell Vaz, I will not listen to a criminal as a legislator. You're a rapist and a murderer. So we now listen to him. The question, though, Winston Daly, where are our children? It's a very serious question. Check how much of Jamaica children just fall off the face of the earth on a yearly basis without Angela 48349. How you do? Check on a yearly basis, Don Fox, how much of Jamaica children just fall off the face of the earth. On a yearly basis, just fall off of the face of the earth. So, Eugene Thomas, how are you? And nobody don't hear a thing, EM. Nobody can track them. Nobody now has a capability to find them. Is the Prime Minister tracking and identifying young people for the human trafficking ring? Jamaica, when are you going to take these violations from Andrew Holness serious? And they tried to ban Starlink because Starlink would not give the government the access to use its tracking to the people. That's the reason why I'm asking that question. Me not aware of that, you know. Omega, me would have to look into that, to be honest. But there are questions to be asked here, Dorothy Gordon, Dorothy Brown. With regards to our children, it is a very serious issue. Now that we know and understand from the utterances of the Prime Minister, Kate M., how capable they are to even tell when we are water flowers in our house or not. Them have the capability to move our curtain and look in our house. Where are our children? Is there a Jeffrey Epstein ring being run by Andrew Holness and his social media warriors and his political activists? Where are our children? Sunshine, how you do? Patricia Matthews, how are you? Where are our children, Prime Minister? Jamaicans, when are you going to start asking the Prime Minister, where are our children? The Prime Minister admit to tracking young people. Social vloggers admit to having those tracking information. Within all that conundrum going on, our children are just falling off the face of the earth without anyone knowing where they are. Where are our children, Prime Minister? Look at TV. Why you have that capability, Prime Minister? Fella look through vloggers' window. The chap we don't know what we do, who we are and who pay we. And you say it and not me. Where are our children? Hundreds missing per year. Them just fall off of the face of the earth. So who else could be tracking and identifying our children who is suitable for their human trafficking ring or organ harvesting ring, Prime Minister? Prime Minister Andrew Holness, where are our children? And you tell us, sir, you know, we no garbage go gym and wake up and find out say you're track we. You told us that boldly. Your people them tell we boldly say them have something coming for we and them get the tracking details span we. So no, we'll come out here and make up. And when me say all of you vloggers must go to your local police station, whichever country you're in, and report a death threat against your life by the Jamaican Prime Minister and his social media activists. You have the information to back it up. You have the information to show that the Prime Minister admit to snooping on us. You have the information to show that the Prime Minister social media warriors admittedly stalking other vloggers. Brittany L., how are you? This is all to prevent you from having your free speech. You must be nice to the Prime Minister. You must praise and celebrate the Prime Minister. Otherwise, you become a threat to the Prime Minister. Therefore, the Prime Minister can go on and start snooping at us. Did you obtain a court warrant to snoop on members of the public, Prime Minister? What does the Interception of Communication Act permit you to do executively, if it does? What is the guidance in the Interception of Communication Act, Prime Minister, if there are members of the public under such investigation that you need to keep a tap on them? How dangerous is a vlogger free speech that a court would order an interception or the Prime Minister is intercepted arbitrarily? Is the Prime Minister being assisted by Flow or Digicel in any way other than using his Pegasus software? But you see the people of Jamaica, you're going to sit down until your two hands are tied behind you. Because I really do believe a lot of you are not taking this government serious. A lot of you are not taking the Prime Minister's utterances serious, Janet Jones. A lot of you are not taking the Prime Minister dictatorial behavior serious. A lot of you are not taking the Prime Minister threat to democracy as we understand it in Jamaica. Simone Beckford, how are you? Serious. It is why the Prime Minister can continuously violate violate, speak down to us, speak around us, speak over us, speak at us, anything but speaking to us. This Prime Minister has done over us, around us, at us, but never speak to us. Because Jamaica people have lost what everybody has in them that have to deal with government. Everybody has a thing in them called outrage. There comes a time when the government has taken their liberties too far, has overstepped the mark given to them, and the nation have to become outraged. Marcia Al-Jalaiv, how are you? The nation become that outrage, Marcia Este, as we see happening in Kenya, because the Prime Minister, the President overstepped its boundary by wanting to put in too much stress on the people by even taxing young people who are creating content on social media to create a living because Ruto cannot provide them a job. There's no outrage in Jamaica. No outrage amongst Jamaican people. The Prime Minister can do anything and get away with anything. No outrage. The people have become so docile and fearful of government. So the people are willing to allow this government to just do just about anything with them. But to all vloggers out there, you must report a death threat against your life. Taking the Prime Minister's speech with you, taking the information from the vlogger with you, and make sure you make that recorded with your local police. If fly pitch pan you, you know, say I want an Andrew Holness fly. If fly pitch pan you, Marcia Thomas, you know, say Andrew Holness send a fly there with poison come pitch pan you. So if me buck me toe out a road tomorrow, Andrew Holness, somebody know who to look to. Somebody know where it is coming from. Andrew Holness. If me buck me toe out a road tomorrow, everybody know where it come from. If me step on road and somebody see me and call out my name and me don't know who Andrew Holness, me a ball out say, whoa, murder, rape, Andrew Holness send you come kill me. Come on, people, hit the like button. Hit the like button. 186 sound out there. And on the 104, I don't hit the like button. Boy, not tan bad. Just over little likes. Everything you have to prod and poke Jamaica people to do. Everything you have to prod and poke black people to do. We don't do nothing free will. We don't see the joy of participating. We don't see the joy of togetherness. We don't see the joy of unity. You see. So you can just go on. But as well as preparing for the hurricane, protect your life from this desperate tyrannical government. whoever move him make is to take more control of the people. Jeanette Riley, how are you? Every move him make is to take more control from the people. Run Wonders. And Jamaica people must take this serious. Every vlogger out there must take this serious. It is a death threat issued from the Prime Minister. We understand the violent, Natalia Freeman, how you do? We understand the violent Jamaica Labour Party and the political tribalism that comes with them, the criminality that comes with them. We've seen them gone to work many times. Just the other day, when local government election, we saw where Dean Jones pull out him gun, Gladys Clark, and ready to kill. But Jamaica people isn't taking what this Prime Minister and him cahoots them are doing to the nation. If Andrew Holness get one more term in our country, we might as well go live a Russia or China, because it simply wouldn't be any much of a difference. The only less of a difference, the racism may not be so high. But then again, when you look on how the racism that Mark Golden have to deal with over the last few weeks from the Jamaica Labour Party, it wasn't a nice thing. So we don't even can bank upon that. Say the racism a go little lesser in a China and Russia. That may only be the difference. We can't even bank upon that anymore. Look upon the racism. Look upon the racism what we see against Mark Golden in the last few weeks. Glaring, isn't it? You never know, say Jamaica wouldn't reach that Trump and Nigel Farage. Pass me your birth paper. What go on, Carlos? You never know, say Jamaica would reach that Trump and Nigel Farage. Pass me your birth paper. Pass me your passport. I want to see where you were born and who are you affiliated to. Brenda. But as I was saying, Carlos, you just come. All vloggers out there, no more remittance after burial. Wait there again. No more remittance after burial. Jamaican need to stand up for themselves. May I tell you? Then just lay down, so rejoice in him always. How are you? Then just lay down, so and roll over for just about anybody step over them. But if you or others have not yet, call us, Gray. You must go to your local police station and you must report a threat of death against your life. You must take the recording from the Prime Minister where he admitted to tracking and is tracking vloggers and young people. You must also take the recording of the vlogger mentioned by the Deputy Speaker of the House in Parliament on the recording that admitted to have those recording and is making threats, albeit subliminal. You must report that to your local police station. If bees bite your Carlos, that bees was ordered by Andrew Holness. So a report must be with your local police by tomorrow, making sure you record a death threat against your person. Record a death threat against your person at your local police station. If bees fly and touch you, if bees fly and touch you, the Prime Minister, if me sneeze at the Prime Minister spray poison palm me door handle, anything, if my blood pressure raise, Prime Minister, and you send somebody come inject me in my sleep because I was threatened. My life was threatened by the Jamaican Prime Minister. My life was threatened by the Jamaican Prime Minister because the Prime Minister don't want to hear that he's been investigated under the Magnitsky Act. And because the Prime Minister skin out and a turn around and do everything America want him to do, for America don't place sanction upon him and him cabinet members them. The Prime Minister want to shut us up. Prime Minister, we are going to talk. So you can check me with your drop a dot. We are going to talk. You have too much of a mouth to work and put duct tape on. When you run out of duct tape, what are you going to do? Do not take this death threat from the Prime Minister lightly. Do not take this death threat from the Prime Minister lightly. He said it and he mean it. We know how the Jamaica Labour Party operate. They operate with violence and chaos. The Prime Minister admit to tracking us. Chopper John admit to obtaining those information and is preparing us to give us what we deserve. That was a threat from Prime Minister Andrew Holness, and that is how it must be reported and treated with the supporting evidence of the different recordings. Prime Minister, you're going to have hell to silence me. You are going to have hell to silence me, Prime Minister. But I'm only hoping Jamaica people is not see this as a fun and joke or a fun and game when their children, 6 year, how are you? When their children, very free speech, freedom of movement are at risk, or children are being kidnapped on a daily basis. Hundreds of our children, particularly young girls, just fell off the face of this earth so on a yearly basis while the Prime Minister is tracking vloggers. Where are our children, Prime Minister? Prime Minister Andrew Holness, where are our children? In the same breath when you're tracking young people are going missing. In the same breath when you're handing over those information to your social media warrior, our children are going missing. Handing over information to people who are trained by Peter King, a Jeffrey Epsteinic ring run on our children. Prime Minister, where are our children? You're the one who admit to be tracking them. How you can track the picnic them are the people them will kidnap them? Or is it, Prime Minister, that you're the one who's tracking and identifying our children for the human trafficking ring, and which one to be identified at what point and where they are and when they should be kidnapped? Sig, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Sid. Where are our children, Prime Minister? It is a very serious question. I don't see why all parents across Jamaica, all parents who have missing children across Jamaica is not rising up to ask the government the question, where are our children? You admit to us, and a dream, we dream it. We not just fall out of sleep. So the Prime Minister said it. Where are our children, Prime Minister? Where are our children? That's the question all Jamaicans should be asking in light of us being told by the Prime Minister of his capability to follow us around in our pockets on a daily basis. Prime Minister, where are our children? The same Prime Minister just admittedly telling us that they're tracking young people. Prime Minister, where are our children? Jamaica, this is dangerous. This is dangerous, Jamaica. That's why when your children fall off of the face of the earth, they just fall off of the face of the earth without any trace. Because those who have the capability to track them only track them to point them out to kidnappers. Where are our children, Prime Minister? Where are our children? Why is Jamaican parent not asking that question this evening? Where are our children? Our Jamaicans don't see the danger unfolding where a Prime Minister can follow you in your pocket wherever you're going, can be listening to your conversation willy-nilly. Prime Minister, where are our children? Where are our children, Prime Minister? This is serious and this is dangerous. Prime Minister Andrew Holness, where are Jamaica missing children? You have the capability, Prime Minister, to find out who tracked them. You have the capability to know who kidnapped them, Prime Minister. Where are our missing children? Where are our missing children, Prime Minister? With all the capability you have, are you identifying our children for a sexual predatory ring, Prime Minister? Where are our children? Where are our children? I will close with this tonight. Prime Minister, where are our children? And I hope one day the rest of Jamaica and the rest of the vlogging community could be asking the Prime Minister, Prime Minister, where are our children? Thank you very much for being here with us tonight on the Global Television Group. Join us back here tomorrow morning when we will continue to ask the government as well, where are our children, as well as we will look at any further development in Hurricane Beryl. Stay safe, Jamaica. follow the precautions and make sure, real sweet, Martha Cooperlin, how are you? Make sure that you put every measure in place to prevent the loss of life and limb. Prime Minister, where are our children? Good night from Global Television.